What is going on, everybody? It is 7:50 p.m. here in Florida. I hope everybody is safe in these fucking ridiculously crazy times. To the point where I sat back and I was like, should I even stream? You know, it feels really goofy hopping on and talking about Star Wars and stuff like that. And yeah, sipping on some coffee. Hey, do you guys want to talk about Star Wars? But welcome, guys. Hope you're all doing decently well, as good as you can. It is 7:51 now in Florida, June 1st, 2020. There we go. So, no topic of conversation tonight. No, what's your favorite Star Wars movie, quote, whatever. But yeah. Whatever you guys want to talk about. So, Swish Fish and Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much for coming in with the first super chat as channel support of the stream. Swish Fish says, "Hey Greedo, hope you're holed up and staying safe." Yeah, like I'm so far out of any major city, you know, kind of live in the burbs of the burbs in the middle of nowhere. So, I am, but I definitely feel for everybody who is out there protesting and you know, all the peaceful demonstrations. It's hard not to appreciate them, you know. And crazy times for our country. I feel like this goddamn thing happens obviously way too often, and it feels like every few years there's always something like this, and yeah, needs to be some kind of, I don't know, major institutional change. But maybe that's for another, we'll see. But doing well, Swish. Doing well. Let me take a quick sip of the old burning, scalding hot coffee that I probably should have cooled off before I poured it in. But I appreciate that, man. Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much as well. Good to see you. And I appreciate the you sending me over the giant collection that you have. Carter Lovejoy has like 857, something like that. Blu-ray and 4K physical copies. It's insane. It's one of the largest collections I've ever seen. But yeah, pretty insane. So yeah, Carter, the next movie that I will buy on physical format will be the Jaws 4K. When does it come? Oh, it comes out tomorrow. Oh, dude, I didn't know that. Jaws 4K. Jaws 4K. Best Buy, $20. No, it does not come out. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Does it come out tomorrow? Oh, release date is tomorrow. Crazy, man. So, yes, I will be purchasing that as well. Awesome. I actually thought it came out next month. I thought it was actually planning on coming by, or for July 4th. But hell yeah, man. Yeah, you guys know I don't buy many physical copies of anything. I don't really buy much of anything. I'm not a collector. Jaws is one of the few movies that I own VHS of it, a DVD of it, a Blu-ray of it. Now I'm going to owe the 4K, right? But yeah, anyway, it's crazy. Hell yeah, man. I'm super pumped. Like I always say, around July 4th, at our old house, me and my wife used to have a projector out back. We had a big pull down screen on the side of our garage, and we would project Jaws every 4th of July outside, you know, have a bunch of beers and watch Jaws on the side of our house. And it was awesome. And around that time I would always say, you know what? Jaws is my all-time favorite movie. And it's up there. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. And thank you for bringing it to my attention. Yeah. I want to do a Jaws viewing, but I'm 24, but like maybe I should check it out. Oh, you've never seen it? Oh, dude. Oh, you've never seen Jaws? Oh, you have to, man. The thing is, Swish, like, it might be one of those things where so many people have built it up, right? You know? Like I'm trying to think of an example where so many people have built up something for me that I've never played or seen. But so many people might have built up Jaws over the years that if you do see it nowadays, Maybe it would be a... No, I'm not even going to say that, Swish. It is the best goddamn movie of all time. No, it's fantastic. The characters are great. It is just, you know, I love it. It's yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I can't believe you haven't seen it, Swish. Watch it. But I appreciate that, man. What's up, Vince? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. 9 years of your channel. Yeah, it's crazy to think, Reaction Nerd. Yeah, 9 years. It'll be 9 years in September of this channel's existence. And it's been, you know, it's been nothing but a fun ride. And that's how I always want to keep it, you know. But yeah. Caleb Kemp and Eric King, thank you guys so much for the channel supports this evening. I greatly appreciate that. Caleb Kemp says, hello there. Well, hello there right back to you. I haven't got around to recording anything yet. Yeah, when did you send it? You sent it like last Friday, right? A couple days ago. So yeah, I had a friend come in town yesterday. We hung out all day. Our kids played together. And then Saturday, my wife worked, and then we hung out with my daughter. But probably at some point during this week, early in the morning, I'll hop in front of the microphone and start recording some audio and whatnot. But hello there, right back to you, Caleb. I'm going to be helping out Caleb with a little video that he's doing on his channel. So, but yeah. And Eric King, sup, Greedo, have you read the Darth Vader comics that Marvel put out? Just finished the first out of 6 in this series, and it's really good so far. Yes, where is that actually? I don't know. That might be in my closet somewhere. I don't know where it went after the move, but yeah. I read the first like 3 books of Dark Lord of the Sith. I think each book has like 6 issues in it. So yeah, I might have read. Maybe I only read 2 books, so maybe I've read like 12 issues of it. No, if that's the one you're talking about, I enjoyed it. For whatever reason, man, Eric, I've always had such a, I've always, you know, had such a hard time getting into comics. I don't know why. You know, even when I was a kid, man, I never really read them. I did have a bunch of like Superman comics and Star Wars comics. They're all up in my attic right now, but I never was that deep into them, you know. And even today, like to this day, when I tried to read the Dark Lord of the Sith comics, I enjoyed them, but I didn't have that itch to continue the story. For whatever reason, you know, I feel like when I do get a graphic novel or a comic or something like that, I just breeze through it so quick. And then it's just done and over. And it's, I don't know, it's a weird feeling that I have where I don't really get that invested as I'm reading it. And I maybe other people that are really into comics, you know, analyze each panel and look at it intently. For me, I just like read the word bubbles and just move. but yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Eric. What I did read, I enjoyed. You might, if you're reading the same exact thing that I read, I did start doing reviews of those issues, and they should be they're up on the channel. So if you want to, like, I don't know, just search for HelloGreedo Dark Lord of the Sith comic, I'm sure you'll see all the all the videos that I that I did for that. Never finished it, but yeah. Shark Week. Is that not a thing anymore? That's something I never really got into either. I don't know. Shark Week. I live in Florida. It's like, it's obviously, you got to be careful, right? But me and my buddies, when we were teenagers, we used to swim stupidly swimming out so far into the ocean, just off the beach. You know, a bad riptide could have turned into a bad day, but yeah. Also, alligators here. There's alligators like I've never lived. Well, so I feel like every single major neighborhood that has like retention ponds and stuff like that in Florida always has an alligator. It's like a neighborhood alligator. It's weird. It's probably super weird for like people that don't live in Florida. What? You have an alligator 4 houses down in a pond? Yeah. It's weird for sure. Alex Pollock, are you still planning on releasing an audiobook for Sorry About the Mess? If you are, I can't wait. Yeah, so eventually, yes. I don't know when, man. But that is still the plan. I'm trying to think, like, I did record a ton of audio. I basically record the entire book as an audiobook. I've recorded chapters and stuff like that with my voice and microphone and everything. I later found out that I don't believe that I recorded in the necessary quality for it to be able to be accepted by Audible. So I think I have to re-record it all, which is not a bad idea in the first place, because since I recorded those chapters, the audiobook chapters, I made a lot of changes to the physical copy before I uploaded the physical copy manuscript to Amazon. So there's a lot of stuff in my audio version that is not, or vice versa. There's a lot of stuff that's in the physical copy that is not in the audio recordings that I already have recorded. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to re-record it all again. Don't know when I'll get around to doing that. It'll probably be a long while. But because it does take a long time to, read each chapter, and then it takes twice as long to edit it down and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway. As a fellow Florida man myself, I can confirm there's a gator in the canal right now down the street. Yeah. I mean, in like the neighborhood Facebook page, people are always taking pictures of alligators. It's, and I completely understand why it would be. I think, we're just so used to it. It is terrifying when you think of it. People walking their dogs just like right next to a pond and a goddamn alligator's in there. I think most Floridians probably don't even think twice about it, but it's like the same attitude with hurricanes, right? You're just so used to them that they almost become like something that people laugh at, until the big one hits. But yeah. Gray, why do you have a Big Bird on your profile? Big Bird, because Big Bird's awesome, man. I just read Big Bird, a Big Bird Shares book to my daughter for lunch, or for before her nap. Big Bird Shares. Jesus, Vince.
The Last Airbender. I have to say it's the real deal. Great storytelling. Plus, I've pleasantly surprised to find some episodes were directed by a fellow cowboy hat sporting Star Wars fan. You'll continue to stay safe and well, Greedo.
Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this evening. Not only this evening, man, but for the past few months, I can't say thank you enough. It's been a fun ride. I have a buddy who works at, did I say this already? That works at UPS. And he came over 2 weeks ago, and I asked him about shipping you what we talked about shipping you. And he said, yeah, it wouldn't be a problem. So I'm probably going to drop that off with him, which is great. Yeah. Anyway. Vince, thank you so much, man. Let me read this real quick. I finally got into Last Airbender. I have to say, it's the real deal. Let me Google that real quick. Last Airbender. Okay, so Last Airbender, not the movie, apparently, right? Okay, so the Last Airbender series show. Okay, show. Last Airbender show, 100% in Rotten Tomatoes. Damn. So first episode 2005, final episode 2008. Is that the one you're talking about, Vince? Or is there another one? There's a lot of iterations of The Last Airbender, right? Or am I completely forgetting about something else, maybe? Anyway, I have to say it's the real deal. Great storytelling. Plus, I've pleasantly surprised to find some episodes were directed by a fellow cowboy hat sporting Star Wars fan. Really? Y'all continue to stay safe and well, Greedo. Right back at you, man. Hope you're doing well down south there. So 2005 to 2008. Is that the only... Let me look this up. I don't know much about this fence. So, was it books and stuff beforehand? No? Did it start as a show? Huh. Live action remake. The original cartoon. Okay, so 2005 to 2008. That looks like it was the original cartoon. For whatever reason, man, I thought that it was a lot older than that. There's a sequel series I haven't watched yet. Gotcha. Interesting. So yeah, I really don't know. This is kind of out of my wheelhouse. This is something that I never got into. Is it considered anime? Is an American animated television? Okay, never mind. So yeah, it's I know the name of it. I don't know anything about it, but I'm looking here at Rotten Tomatoes at the series, and it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. All 3 seasons. I don't know if I've ever seen a show, or an animated show for that matter, have 100% of all 3 seasons from critics. That's pretty intense. Crazy. Anyway, I'm assuming it's on Netflix or something like that. But you're obviously talking about Filoni, right? Let's see. The Last Airbender, Dave Filoni. He is most known for his work on Avatar: The Last. Oh, yeah. Wasn't he talking about that? Wasn't Filoni talking about that in the that Disney Plus, like behind the scenes roundtable thing? I think he briefly told his story of how he was contacted by Lucas and he had a meeting and it was all because of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think it was. I could be wrong. But I remember him saying something about that. Interesting. So, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know anything about it. I would literally be jumping into the I'd literally be jumping into the series not knowing a damn thing about it, other than the fact that back when it first came out, I probably confused it with the Avatar movie, and I just thought they were the same things. That's how much I pay attention to things, Vince. Anyway, I appreciate the hell out of that, man. Glad you found something to watch. We're trying to figure out what to watch next. We were caught up with Ozark. Oh, one sec.
When I called Diamond and Silk the Quird, but I write this sonnet and bum suspension for life. It is called #Fukim.
Space Dawn Incorporated Gaming Clan Archive. What is this in reference to? Is this... It almost could be song lyrics. Give me one sec, man. I appreciate the hell out of that channel support. I'm a little confused. I'm gonna have to copy and paste that into Google unless this is free flowing from the brain randomness. Give me one sec, man. I appreciate the hell out of that, and Swish Fish as well. It'd be a great guarantee your family. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out something to watch. Probably won't watch that. Me and my wife are pretty selective with what we watch together. But there's certain nights where she'll watch a show that she likes because like Outlander or something like that, and I'll watch an episode of The Next Generation or something. But maybe next time I will fire up an episode of Last Airbender. But yeah, like I said, we finished Ozark. We're all caught up with that. The last show that we watched was we just finished the Michael Jordan documentary, which was great. I can, even if you don't like basketball, man, even if you don't know anything about, yeah, I mean, everybody knows the name Michael Jordan, right? It's a really well done documentary. Yeah, it's exciting. They do a great job, and obviously they interview everybody nowadays about, you know, the early 90s basketball, even the late 80s. It's really well done. But anyway. And Swish Fish, let me see the order here. Swish Fish, Space Dawn, Stephen Homilak, and Kurt, thank you guys so much for the channel support. Swish Fish says, name a non-Star Wars cartoon you grew up with. Oh, dude, I didn't grow up with any Star Wars cartoons. You know, when I was growing up, there were no Star Wars cartoons, other than like droids, and maybe, yeah, that's really about it. Which I don't even, wait, is that what it was called? No, it wasn't called droids. Star Wars cartoons. There was something that came way before my time even. I think it was like in, let's see. Ewoks and Droids. Okay, the Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour. So, yeah, that's the only like Star Wars cartoon that I believe existed when I was a kid. So, yep, it looks like it was, which was from 1985. Okay, so I wasn't even born in 85. I was born in 86. So, yeah, man, when I was growing up as a kid, there was no Star Wars cartoons unless you count that. So, it's kind of crazy to think about. But, so the cartoons that I watched growing up, man, was like, especially when I was younger, like Rugrats and Doug and All Real Monsters, Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which I like, for whatever reason, that show popped into my head not too long ago, and I had this desire to watch it because I feel like that was right around the time where Adult Swim became a thing, and I have these memories of like having sleepovers with my buddies when we were in middle school, watching Adult Swim and being like, this is crazy, this is so weird, you know. So yeah, that kind of stuff. Never really got into any anime. I don't know anything about it. Watched some Ninja Turtles obviously when I was a kid. I loved the original Superman cartoons from like the 40s. I watched the hell out of those. Obviously, Looney Tunes. Tex Avery? Is that the name of these cartoons, like the home of the future? Tex Avery cartoons. Yeah. Those were some of my favorite, man. Like the home of the future and all that goofy shit. So yeah, that's really about it, man. I'm sure everybody in the chat, tell me, like, I was born in 86. I basically, whatever was on in the 90s is what I watched as a kid. So never got into SpongeBob. Never, maybe that was a little after my time. I really don't know. But anyway. And Space Dawn Incorporated Gaming Clan Archive, thank you so much. I saw that you said, help me get my demo out. Thank you. All right. Christmas special was, yeah, that did exist for sure. Space Dawn says, they didn't suspend me when I called Diamond and Silk the K word, but I write this sonnet and bam, suspension for life. It is called #fuck'em. Okay. I'm going to copy and paste it. Is this, I have no idea what this is in reference to. I don't know what any of this means. Something's coming up for Diamond and Silk. Temporarily suspended? Who are Diamond? Oh, so this is actually a thing that you're talking about. I have no idea what this is talking about. All right. But I write this sonnet and bam, suspension for life. Well, all right. Was your goal, Space Dawn, to confuse the shit out of me? Because I'm confused the shit out of right now. But anyway, man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the confusion. Does anybody know what the hell Space Dawn is talking about? But anyway, man, if you want to clarify in the chat, I'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, I appreciate that, dude. Stephen Homelak. Sorry if you were trying to escape from the news a little during the stream, but check out joincampaignzero.org sometime. They advocate statistically backed solutions to stop police brutality, which is probably, well, absolutely a necessary. Let's see, Join Campaign Zero. I spelled campaign wrong. Interesting. Data-driven. In broken windows, policing, community oversight, limit use of force, independently investigate, prosecute. All right, yeah, I'll absolutely. No, you're completely fine, man. I think we kind of discussed that at the top of the stream. I even saw some people talking about it in the chat, looking for a little bit of escapism as well. But no reason to apologize whatsoever, man. It's in the forefront of everyone's mind, right? So, yeah, this is. I will absolutely check or look into this. Yeah, man. Yeah. Dude, Steven, it feels super weird coming on here. Dude, I made a video today that I was going to put out, and I sat back and I was like, I even have a video that, I was working with, it'll eventually get released, but I was working with a company, little sponsored video, and it was kind of a back and forth, and we were like, yeah, it just doesn't feel like the right time to do it. So it feels fucking weird getting on here and talking about Star Wars, doesn't it? When there's way more important things going on. It's interesting, but yeah, crazy world, crazy shit. Yeah, anyway, I'll have this pulled up after the stream, and I'll check it out for sure. I'll pull it up on my phone. It'll be what I read about as I trail off into a deep sleep and maybe have some dreams. I don't know, dreams of going to the mountains and living in a tiny cabin with no television and no phone. But I appreciate that, man. And Kurt Owen, I helped you once on Battlefront servers. I love your content. Well, thank you so much. You helped me dominate some rebels or some Imperial scum. Well, if we did good, thank you so much. Even if we didn't do good, I appreciate the backup. But dude, Kurt, thank you so much for tuning in, man. Maybe you didn't even. Maybe I've actually, Kurt, had people not even know about the channel. Well, this was early on in Battlefront's existence, like in the new Battlefront, 2015 and 2017, Battlefront 1 and 2. That never even heard of the channel, but discovered the channel while playing. I used to be pretty active in the chat as I was playing the games. I've since turned off chat for a very long time in game because I can't be streaming and have somebody blast in the chat with a bunch of random bullshit, offensive stuff constantly. You know how it goes in video games, right? So I just turned off the chat. And it was kind of interesting, like, just to occasionally have somebody check out the channel from just being on my team. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I am streaming. Check out my stream. I'm streaming right now. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Force ghosts are being overused. I haven't felt that way. Then again, I've only been watching the movies, really, and the Clone Wars. But yes, I have seen Barry with Bill Hader. Dude, great. If you're still here, I know I'm always long-winded on these things, but if anybody here has not seen Barry, it is worth your time. It's funny, darkly funny. It's great. Yeah, it's really well done. It was kind of a sleeper for me. I had never really heard of it. And randomly we had... When did we start that? Did the first season or the second season debut right around the time when the last episode of Game of Thrones was coming out? I think that might be the reason that we started it. And it was, it was nice. Yeah, Anyway, it's great. Caleb Kemp, thank you so much as well, man. My work break is over. Thanks for giving me something to take my mind off the mess of the world today. We'll listen to the rest when I'm home. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always great to be engaged. It's always great to be a part of the conversation. And I would never fault anybody for needing a little bit of escapism, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's important to occasionally take your mind off things, right? Which is a luxury. It's a luxury to have that ability to take your mind off of things, right? It's a luxury. It's not a lot of people don't have that luxury, right? Anyway, I appreciate that, Caleb. Looking forward to, as we said earlier, firing up the old microphone and starting a little collab. But yeah. Anyway, Rocco's Modern Life. Hell yeah, Rocco's Modern Life. I forgot that. I forgot about. Let's see. Somebody else. Beavis and Butthead, of course. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if anybody else typed any cartoons that they watch. You never got into. I'm kidding about it. No, I never got into SpongeBob. No, I don't. I'd probably never seen an entire episode. To tell you the truth. I like the 80s and 90s. Did you grow up then? It's always funny to me, man. Like, every generation thinks that their decade or the time that they were a kid most influential was the best time to be oh, I grew up in the 90s. The 90s was great. We had flannel and grunge. It was incredible. Oh, I grew up in the 60s. It was amazing. Oh, I grew up in the 50s. It was great. I like them too, Jalissa. I like them too. They're fun. That was my childhood for sure. What's up, Admiral Akbar? Cyrus Jabari, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the channel support this evening. Cyrus says, if you were given the chance to make one special edition change in the sequel trilogy, what would it be? Oh, okay. This is a fun question, Cyrus. One special edition change. It can be maybe it can be something massive. Maybe it can be something tiny. Can it? Oh, God. Okay, this is probably a little cop-out, Cyrus. I'm going to go with, like, removing Palpatine from the sequel trilogy whatsoever and completely just rewriting that movie. That is a huge... That wouldn't even be a special edition, quote-unquote, change. That would be an entirely different film, right? So I'll go with something smaller, maybe. I don't even know. See, when I think of special edition changes, I think of, things that maybe either junk up a scene or change something, maybe inconsequently? Is that, wait, yeah, am I saying that right? Inconsequential is what I'm thinking of. So yeah, I would completely remove Palpatine. But a subtle special edition change. Another thing that I would probably change completely is, as much as I do like Starkiller Base being like Ilum, whatnot, the idea of another like super weapon is boring to me. I said that after I got out of the theater, out of Force Awakens. It didn't completely take me out. It didn't make me not like the movie, but that's something that it always felt a little unimaginative to me. That being said, the movie was very A New Hope-y, as we all know. So, golly, I don't know. I am racking my brain on this way too hard. A lot of stuff I like, man. I was thinking like maybe change up a song or something like that in Maz's Castle, but I do like the Lin-Manuel Miranda sings that, doesn't he? He helped write that, I think, and he sings it. I thought about changing that up, but I like it. I really don't know. I'm gonna do my cop-out answer, Cyrus. Let's just completely take Palpatine out of that movie, rewrite Kylo Ren as the big bad. Can you give that to me? Can you give that to me? All right. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Kurt Owen, you couldn't connect to server, and I helped you fix it. Oh. Are you talking? Oh, are you talking about the OG Battlefront 2? I have a horrible memory, man, and I'm trying to think if I've had an issue with Battlefront 2, like modern Battlefront 2 before. I must have. You guys know me, I have a shit memory. I'm trying to rack my brain. Well, if you were able to successfully help my dumbass to connect to a server so I could play some video games, I appreciate the hell out of it. And I apologize for my horrible memory. These things fly by. But yeah, dude, thank you so much on multiple fronts. Yeah, sometimes I need a little help to connect to servers, I guess. I'm trying to think if I can't remember having an issue with modern Battlefront 2, but I must have. But anyway, man, I appreciate that, Kurt. And Alisaria Jurassicus. Thank you so much, Alisaria. An Alisaur. Is Alisauria an actual term, or is that a play on the Allosaur? Or Allosaurus? Allosaurus. I thought it was just Allosaur. Allosaurus. Okay, I'm wrong. Anyway. Allosaurus, thank you so much. Or Allosauria. HelloGreedo, I hope you have an amazing week. Right back to you. I hope you do too. Nothing really planned for the week for us. Just same old, same old. We had a really fun weekend. I had a friend in town, one of my oldest friends I've known since I was like 13 years old. And another one of my buddies that I've known since I was probably 12. We all lived in the same neighborhood growing up, and you know, still really good close friends. Few other guys in that group too. And he was in town, brought their daughter, and my daughter and their daughter played together. We blew up the backyard pool and hung out. It was a blast, man. It's always fun. Like past few months, obviously, everything's been kind of closed. Haven't been able to take my daughter to the normal park. She hasn't been able to play with any kids and anything like that. So it's always fun to see her run around and share toys and learn. And anyway, it's a blast. I appreciate that. Hope you have a good weekend or week as well, man. And Admiral Akbar, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Hey bro, Admiral Akbar says, hey bro, right back at you. Hope you're doing well, Akbar. Short and sweet. Thank you so much for the channel support this afternoon, or this evening rather. I feel like I stream more frequently in the afternoons nowadays, right? I feel like it used to be the opposite. Afternoon streams used to be the rarity, and nowadays it seems like they are the majority of the streams that I do, and these evening streams are the rarity. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, man. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much as well. I feel accomplished today. I completed 65% of my South Park fan film. Hell yeah. I learned how to do my own Stan Marsh animation and merging it into existing scenes. How do you know that you're 65%? I guess you have it scripted out and whatnot. That's fun, man. That's I love that. Projects of passion and whatnot. I actually just made a video about another project of passion, 4K77. I was going to upload it today. I'll probably upload it later in the week. But that's all. When it's finished, Oscar, please fire up my way. I would love to see it. I remember you showed me a little short snippet from it maybe a month ago already. Maybe it was even longer than that. But hell yeah. Hell yeah. Speaking of animation, I have been wanting to get into... this is probably a lot different than what you're doing, Oscar, but I've been wanting to get into like 2D animation in order to create something for this channel. I have this idea in my head where, you know, these streams, I have a Lightspeed Lounge stream. I have me in the living room that you're watching right now. But I've been wanting for a long time to do a 2D animated stream overlay and literally trace myself sitting at like a diner. And then in the background, like I would wear a Greedo mask and I would trace myself and I'd be holding a tray of food or something and just make this lively 2D animated scene that lasts like 5 or 10 minutes that repeats itself, you know? I've been wanting to do something like that for a long, in the same kind of style as, oh, one sec.
I'm glad people are enjoying my final CW list. Update, my science fiction board game is on track to launch on Kickstarter soon. I am super excited to show you the campaign video when it's ready.
William Aguilar, good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well, man. So for those of you who don't know, Will is basically the reason that I got into watching the Clone Wars. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. I apologize. I'm super long-winded this evening. I got Kurt, Scruffy, Will, okay, cool. So 2 ahead of you, but I appreciate that. Give me 1 sec. Kurt, oh, and you switched to Euro servers. This was Battlefront 1 new game. Oh, gotcha. That was a long time ago then. Damn. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. Switched to Euro servers. This was Battlefront 1 new game. Gotcha. So that was 2015, which is hard to believe. 25 years ago. I still miss a lot of what that game was.
JJ
oh, 1 sec.
is better with setup than endings. Is it possible that the things JJ showed in The Rise of Skywalker was meant for setup for other Star Wars content down the line? Content like the High Republic or other Star Wars media?
SSK286, goddamn, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this evening. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, man. It's good to see you. Give me 1 sec. But I appreciate that. I got Kurt, Scruffy, Will, Gooner, and SSK. But yeah, Kurt, it's hard to believe. I still miss a lot of Battlefront 1 stuff. I think to this day, dude, between the 2 modern Battlefront games, my favorite mode is cargo. Honestly, I think that is still my favorite game mode. Obviously, I love Supremacy and... you know, I liked Walker Assault. I liked all those big game modes as well, but in both games. But there was something about cargo. There's something I really miss about Battlefront 1 and cargo, man, just because it was so fast-paced and fun. It was capture the flag. Yeah, I want to... yeah. Maybe if I could get some of you guys to come in and play with me. I feel like I installed it a couple years ago and I tried to launch a cargo game and I could not get one. Maybe if I told a lot of you guys to hop on, we could get a match. But anyway, Kurt, long time coming. Thank you so much. And Scruffy Nerf Herder, thank you so much for the channel support as well and the fun question here about computer stuff. Scruffy says, what brand PC and specs are you running on? Setting up my first gaming PC. Also got your book today. Looking forward to diving in. Well, first of all, thank you so much for...
My buddy is watching the CW show and he hasn't seen the prequels. Thoughts? Have you thought about how viewing order affects the experience?
Oh, big time.
How could the sequels affect things seen in varying orders?
Benjamin B, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Give me 1 sec. Scruffy, thank you so much for picking up the book. I hope you like it. If you do... let me know. If you don't, let me know. And either way, man, the Amazon reviews have been way more positive than I ever imagined. So leave your thoughts there if you feel like it. But so Scruffy, I built my PC in 2015, right before Battlefront 1 came out. And I really had the only thing that I've changed since then was I believe I added more RAM. I think that's the only... No, I can't remember if I did or not, to tell you the truth. I might have just swapped out RAM. I might have gotten DDR4. I can't remember. I have DDR4 now. I don't remember if I bought it back then or changed it up. So I have 16 gigs of DDR4. I have an i7 processor. I have a Radeon R390. Is that what it is? Oh my God, it's been a long time since... Oh, I think actually if you go into the my stream description down there, unless it's different now. It should be down there. An R9 390 is what I have, video card. An i7 processor, an R9 390 graphics card, and 16 gigs of DDR4. And I really haven't touched my setup since I built it in 2015. And I'm not in the market for anything new. I've never had any kind of hiccup running any modern game. I'm sure that'll change in the next few years, and I'll need to upgrade at some point. But I've been really pleased with this setup, and it's lasted me for 5 years, and I'm sure I'll get some more out of it. The only thing that I think I would add is another internal hard drive. I have, or I would add a bigger SSD. I have actually, let me see what size this SSD is. My SSD is only 111 gigabytes. Which means that it was what, like 125? Oh, it was 150 gigs. 150 gigs is my SSD. The only thing on that is like my video editing software, Photoshop, and my operating system. That's it. So I have that. If I was to get something else for this computer, it would be a bigger SSD. I have a terabyte internal. I have another 2 terabyte internal. So total, I have 3 terabytes of internal hard drive space separated on 2 hard drives that I actually use. So yeah, I would probably get a bigger SSD, and then you could always use more RAM, right? It's come down in price so much too. So, but yeah. Anyway, man, I built this thing by myself back in 2015, and it's been pretty good. So if you, it's super daunting at first, right? Whenever you build it. Luckily, my dad has always been into building he's been into building computers since like the late 90s when we first got our computer in like, I think we got our first computer in like 94, 95. But ever since then, he's built his own. And we've always had computers that were built by him, basically, growing up. Like, my sister had a computer in her room. It was built by him. I had a computer in my room. It was built by him. My parents had a computer in their room. It was built by him. So that's always been a thing that he's been into. And whenever I've had any questions, he's helped me out over the years, you know. So anyway, I appreciate that. And William Aguilar, good to see you. I hope you're doing well, Will. Will says, hey man, I'm glad people are enjoying my final Clone Wars list. Update, my science fiction board game is on track to launch on Kickstarter soon. I am super excited to show you the campaign video when it's ready. Yes, please do. As soon as it is ready, fire it over to me on Twitter. I would love to get some eyeballs on it. For those that nobody, if you were here months ago, Will first brought up his science fiction board game on a chat months ago. I feel like it was probably, I don't know, a long time ago now. And it's a really cool concept. It is. It's not just like a 2-dimensional board game. It uses 3-dimensionals and 3-dimensional space, and it uses coordinates and stuff like that from the I guess the prototype images that you made. It looks really unique, and I think I think people will absolutely dig it. But anyway, and yeah, so as I was saying earlier, like, Will is one of the sole reasons that I got into watching the Clone Wars. You know, forever and ever on this channel, I was just kind of poo-pooing the show. And basically, Will told me there was a chronological order. He broke down the episodes. He gave me a digestible list that eventually expanded into even more arcs. And he is, I credit him with being, the main voice of many that pushed me to watch the Clone Wars. So endlessly appreciative of that, and I hope you're doing well, man. So yeah, like I said, as soon as you get the board game out on Kickstarter, fire it to me on Twitter, and I would be happy to share it and check it out. But anyway, I hope you're doing well, man. And SSK286, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this evening. Hope you're doing well. SSK says, knowing JJ is better with setup than endings, is it possible that the things JJ showed in The Rise of Skywalker was meant for setup for other Star Wars content down the line? Content like the High Republic or other Star Wars media. Let me read that again. Is it possible that things JJ showed in The Rise of Skywalker was meant for setup? And I've always had the feeling, SSK, that J.J. Abrams has kind of worked outside of the, I don't know, outside of the, how do I put this? And this is just me. This is a vibe that I get. He works outside of the story group in a way. He's not dictated by the canon of what's to come, or he's not dictated by limitations. I've always kind of felt like he operates as his own entity when making these Star Wars movies. Does that make sense? Like, and then what he creates is like, he doesn't pull from, I'm completely wrong about this probably, but I've always felt like he doesn't pull from a lot of the story group ideas or whatnot. He kind of just creates it himself, and with his team of writers and whatnot. I could be completely wrong. But, so, yeah. If you're looking at The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, I would completely agree that J.J. Abrams is better at setups than endings. You look at a show like Lost as well. I wish Lost was like 3 seasons and that was it, because it could have told a really fun story, concise, and the show just kind of over time. They've even talked about it, the writers and stuff, the producers and stuff like that have talked about how the studio wanted them to make more, and they wanted to end the show. So yeah, definitely better at setups, right? Yeah, definitely better at setups for sure. So, I don't think the things that he showed us in The Rise of Skywalker were meant for other Star Wars stuff down the line. I feel like he made this, him and his writers made the story on their own. I'm sure they consulted with the story group and whatnot, but for the most part, they created this thing with as much freedom as they had, or as much freedom as anybody has when making a Star Wars piece of Star Wars content, So, I'm trying to think of anything in particular that could have been pulled. Maybe the Sith cultists. I could see maybe something like that being expanded on in future Star Wars content. I'm sure some of the things that were touched on in The Rise of Skywalker will be expanded on in the future, like Palpatine having a kid. I'm sure there's going to be future stories about Palpatine's kid, Rey's family, Rey Palpatine. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of, whatever content about that, whether it be a comic or a book or whatnot. That honestly doesn't interest me that much, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. I kind of think he operates in his own world and does what he wants to do, You mentioned the High Republic. The more I was super excited for it, the closer it got. Now it's pushed back to January, and I'm back to I can't get that excited for it right now until we get closer to it, right? It's like rubber banded. My excitement is rubber banded, and now we're back to the starting line. But I am excited for it just because I hope it breathes a little bit new, fresh and new life into the franchise in terms of, giving us a new era, a new timeline of Star Wars to kind of play around in. Treat it like a sandbox, opposed to kind of revisiting the same eras over and over again. That's what I'm really looking forward to. I hope it takes some chances and does some really unique stuff, But anyway, I appreciate that, SSK. Way too generous this evening, and I hope you're doing well. And Gooner Chiefs fan 123. I love lightsaber fights. I remember that video. What video was that? I love lightsaber fights. Was that inside Star Wars Revenge of the Sith? I literally with a Sharpie, I drew I heart lightsaber fights on my shirt. And I don't remember. God, that feels like another lifetime ago, man. Jeez. Those old videos just feel so long ago. It's crazy. But anyway, Gooner, I love lightsaber fights. I appreciate it, man. Video recommendations from Oscar. God, I need a fan in this damn room. Whenever I shut my office door and my office just gets so damn hot. My computer's running. It's Florida. God damn. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. Video recommendation, Hauntology Lost Futures. Hauntology Lost Futures. Video recommendation. Lost Futures and 80s Nostalgia. Ah. What is this?
Fallout is one of my...
Okay. Hauntology, Lost Futures, and 80s Nostalgia. All right. From Cuck Philosophy YouTube channel. I don't usually comment on it, but I find the idea very negative. What strikes me the most is framing the sense that we have lost the future, that postmodern neoliberal society is incapable of creating new cultural forms, is stuck with imagining the future through the eyes of the past. Interesting. Yeah, this sounds like something that I would be interested in. I don't know anything about the channel. I don't know anything about any of this, but I'll check it out for sure. Maybe tomorrow morning. Is it something that I can listen to on a run? That's kind of how I've been doing everything. I just listen to things as I run audio. I've been listening to Alphabet Squadron. Maybe I'll throw Hauntology, Lost Futures, and 80s Nostalgia on there. But I appreciate the recommendation, man. Seems like something that would pique my interest. And Benjamin B, thank you so much as well. My buddy is watching the Clone Wars show, and he hasn't seen the prequels. Thoughts? Have you thought about how viewing order affects experience? How could the sequels affect things in varying orders? Yeah, that's actually been a topic that's been brought up quite a bit. And it's really interesting to me because some people's first experience of Star Wars was actually like the Lego Star Wars game, right? So how does that affect the way you see Star Wars? And a lot of people's first experiences with Star Wars were the prequels, and they had never seen the original trilogy before. So, viewing order, to me, viewing order, the most important viewing order to me is release order. It would be really interesting to experience the franchise through chronological order. I feel like it would just, I don't know, it would be so strange to kind of go through the prequels first and then experience the original trilogy, because so much I've always kind of looked at the original trilogy as the question and the prequel trilogy as the answer to a lot of questions that maybe the original trilogy brought up, right? The original trilogy gives you context for what I don't know, man. And maybe me even saying that is just kind of looking at it through a lens of what I grew up with, right? Yeah, viewing order is almost everything when it comes to like what people like about Star Wars, right? It would be really interesting to me to find somebody or have a poll conducted. If you could figure this out, how many people's like favorite Star Wars movie or trilogy for that matter is the one that either came out when they were a kid or the one that they watched the most of, right? Obviously for me, the original trilogy was the only thing that was in existence for 13 years of my life. I watched the shit out of it, and then the prequels came out, and the original trilogy is my Star Wars, right? Clone Wars prequels, this generation with sequels, I kind of have a feeling it's going to be the same way. Definitely seen that with the prequels in this wave of support, right? So, Ben, I'm really curious what he's going to think of the prequels after watching the Clone Wars. I do have a newfound appreciation for the prequels as an era. When it comes to movies, it's a little like looking at them as films. It's a little, kind of about the same. But I think the prequels fit in much better in my brain with the context of the Clone Wars. And I'm curious because he's going to be watching it the opposite way that I did and that a lot of people did, right? Most people see the prequels first and then watch the Clone Wars. I'm curious what he will think of the prequels when he already has the Clone Wars context in his brain. If he'll like them, from the jump. Or if he would have liked them if he watched them before the Clone Wars. Does that make sense? Yeah, viewing order is everything. I don't know. Anyway, man, I appreciate that, man. Let me know what he thinks in the future. Yeah, it's great. It's a 3D spaceship combat galaxy conquest game. Yeah, we need to... Yeah, whenever... I'm sure people will love to check it out, will. So, absolutely fire it my way on Twitter. Let me take a quick sip. There we go. D. Ryman. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. D says, just finished watching A New Hope and had an interesting thought. Do you think that Kenobi used the Force to heal Luke the same way Baby Yoda used it, or even Rey? That is actually something that I heard brought up not too long ago, D, and I can't remember. It might have been some random ass tweet that I saw. So obviously no, like when the movie was being made, maybe Alec Guinness just went over there and he was like checking Luke's pulse or something like that, right? It's kind of the equivalent of that, just checking on him or whatnot. I don't think so. Maybe that will be some kind of retcon in the future. I could see them doing that. Would it change anything for me? No. I mean, the healing thing, it seems like one of those... It's just another Force power. It doesn't bother me at all. If it's used subtly. It could get really goofy really quick if it's one of those things that just like, all of a sudden a lot of people can heal. I mean, I could see that becoming one of those like just overused, overpowerful things that kind of, I don't know, just kind of like becomes cliche, becomes like a parody of itself. I don't know. So, no, I mean, I could see, like I said, I could see them doing some kind of retcon where, yeah, Ben totally healed Luke in the deserts as he got beat up by a Tusken Raider. Totally could see that becoming a retcon, but no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I just kind of like the idea of him going over and checking on Luke. But maybe. Anyway, D, I appreciate that, man. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the final super chat and channel support before I jet. Vince says, let me pull it up real quick. Didn't expect to love the new Invisible Man. I did. Yeah, that's one that I know my wife wants to watch. I gotta be in the mood for movies like that. I don't know why, dude. I don't know why. I gotta be in the mood for some kind of suspense, thriller, horror, whatever type of movie. It's got like great reviews, right? Let me see. The Invisible Man. 1933. Or is it just called Invisible Man? There's no the? Invisible Man. Why can't Oh, here we go. The Invisible Man. There we go. There is a long list of Invisible Man things. 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dude, that, like, when you see a... What is this considered? A horror movie? I don't know. A scary movie. When you see a scary movie with a score like that, it definitely piques my interest because there's a lot of schlock shit out there, right?
The thing I like most from 9 is the payoff from Palpatine's story to Anakin about Plagueis. Anakin's reason to go to the dark side was to stop death, and we finally see it in Ben resurrecting Rey.
Benjamin B, thank you so much for the channel support this evening. Give me one sec. But yeah, I'm sure eventually we'll get around to watching it, Vince. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Like I said, whenever you see like a scary movie have a great critic review, usually that's enough to make me want to see it because there's a lot of bullshit out there. Plus, Elizabeth Moss is a great actress. And let's see. Meadowland. Never saw that. Yeah, what did we watch with her? Oh, the Handmaid's Tale. We only watched the first season of that. It was fantastic, though. Really good. Creepy. But anyway, Vince, I appreciate that, man. I'm sure we'll get around to watching it soon. Let's see. Oh, Benjamin B, thank you so much as well. The thing I like most from 9 is the payoff from Palpatine's story to Anakin about Plagueis. How did the robots say it? Plagueis? Anakin's reason to go to the dark side was to stop death, and we finally see it in Ben resurrecting Rey. No, that the meanings and everything are not lost on me. They're not lost on me. It's, yeah. If I look at it from those perspectives, I get it and I can appreciate it, and I see the parallels. I see the payoffs, as you put it. It's deep down in my soul, I just can't get over Palpatine being back. It doesn't make me mad. It doesn't piss me off. I've literally only made 2 videos about the Rise of Skywalker in the past 7 months. So, yeah. But yeah, man, Ben, those parallels, those threads are not lost on me. And when I think about, I can appreciate the overall from start to finish 9-film saga when I do look at the threads from that perspective. Absolutely. It's just the overall creative decisions of, 9. I don't know. You said the thing I like most from 9. Yeah. Well, the thing that I like most from 9 was Rey and Ben, Rey and Kylo's relationship. I thought that was one of the only like natural transitions, the smoothest transition from episode 8 to episode 9, from The Last Jedi to The Rise of Skywalker. I feel like that was really the only thing that felt cohesive. That Kylo and Rey relationship just it felt like a natural continuation, and everything else was just fucking all over the place. Anyway. Oh, I didn't realize she's a Scientologist. Interesting, Steven. Yeah, that is weird. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Weird. But, alright. So, guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me this evening. No topic of conversation in this chat. No, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? No, none of that stuff. We just were all over the place from current events. We briefly touched on them. Very briefly. I need to gather myself and figure out what I want to say, even talk about it. It's weird. It's weird as shit. Yeah. Weird. All the way to Star Wars. Anyway, And Ben B, one more time, thank you so much. Sorry to keep you late. Looking forward to KOTOR 2 night. Good night to you as well, man. Thank you so much for the support this evening. I appreciate the hell out of it. Yeah, KOTOR 2 stream. My parents will be babysitting my daughter on Wednesday. My plan is to play some KOTOR 2. That's my plan right now. On Wednesday, it'll be an afternoon stream, so I'll probably start it around like 2 p.m. Yeah, like 2 p.m. or so Eastern time, Wednesday. So that is my goal right now, Ben. Probably you'll play it for an hour, and then maybe do just a little hangout stream for an hour. We'll see. Yeah, Wednesday, maybe a long stream. We'll see. Anyway, I appreciate it. So, Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the final super chat and channel support. A distorted reality is now a necessity to be free. A distorted reality is now a necessity to be free. Everybody lives in like a little bit of distorted reality, right? Whether it be like older people that I see on my personal Facebook sharing some dumb shit 4chan QAnon thing. Hey, you're being trolled, idiot. to people overreacting to certain things or creating these narratives on Twitter to bolster their whatever. I don't know. Everybody seems to live in a little bit of a distorted reality, whatever digital bubble they live in, right? It's really interesting. It's a really interesting time, Oscar. Really interesting time. Take those blinders off. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, man, I appreciate that, Oscar. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing that South Park. But yeah, anyway. TFA, TRS, TLJ. That's your sequel trilogy ranking. For me, it's TLJ, TFA, The Rise of Skywalker. That's my sequel trilogy ranking. But hey, that's just me. We all like different shit, right? It's the way of the world. That's what makes it beautiful. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. To everybody who supported the channel through Super Chats, thank you guys so much. To everybody who just hung out and just listened to my stupid voice without saying a damn word in the chat, thanks for doing that. So, hopefully get a video up tomorrow. Have one ready. It's about 4K 7.7. A lot of people I know don't know about that. I'm super excited to tell everybody about it. It's been around for a year and a half now. I've never made a video about it. I realized that the other day. And then I also have a fun video that I'm working on with Lego. Looking forward to doing that. Don't know when that'll come out, but yeah, we shall see. So, anyway, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!